Hey there, podcast fans. Welcome back to Stories from the River. This is your host, Charlie Malouf, and I'm joined today by my mom, our number one podcast fan, and my sister, Carmen Florick. Hey, we're going to talk about Broad River Retail getting recognized as the Furniture Retailer of the Year. Wow, what a team award and team recognition. And this award was given to us at the Furniture Industry Awards Gala, which was put on by IFRA, the International Home Furnishings Representative Association, at High Point University Convention Center and Arena, at the Nito and Mariana Kubain Convention Center at High Point University. It was an amazing event. Hey, we're going to get right into it. Here we go.
Welcome to Stories from the River, a show in which we go behind the scenes at Broad River Retail.
Okay, so Mom, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing today?
Good morning, my son. I'm so proud of all what you do and all what you're doing. And there's that book.
There's the book. Yeah, I've got the program as well from the event. Hey, so Mom is live. Well, I guess she's not live, but she's up early this morning from Madison, Mississippi, where she lives with my brother, Matt Malouf. And then my sister, Carmen Malouf Florick. Carmen, good morning. How are you?
Morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Carmen's coming in from Tampa. I guess, is it New Tampa or Tampa, Florida?
We're in New Tampa. We're right on the border close to Wesley Chapel and another Ashley home store.
That's fantastic. So you guys both make it to the awards gala. And, I don't think you've ever been to a Broad River Awards event of any nature like this. Have either of you?
I have not been. I was so honored to be invited and to be there and surprise you.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that. So, Manny had several of his family and friends come in, and I had obviously Kelly and the boys drove up from Charlotte, and then Carmen, I had invited you and Uncle Tommy, and so you guys were flying in from Tampa, and your mom, I didn't think that you were able to make it, and I tried to see if you could make. You certainly were invited, and then I didn't find out that you were going to be there until at the airport. So what's with the surprise? How'd that come about?
Honestly, it was so much fun to play and plan. I had asked Jason, your brother, and Matthew, and I wanted all of us to be there because we're so proud of you and we're so honored for you to receive this award. And somehow there was obstacles. They couldn't come. They couldn't make it. So I planned it with Carmen. And I said, Carmen, I want to go, but I don't want to tell Charlie. And she kept saying, why? I said, I want to surprise him. I just had something to tell me to surprise you. And Jason said, Mom, Charlie is going to get sick if you surprise him. Don't do that. I said, no, he will be happy. He will not get sick. Without saying sick with what? With a heart attack at the airport. I said, no, I don't want to do that. Then Carmen planned it, and I said, please don't tell. And every day she will say, I need to tell Charlie. I can't keep a secret. I need to tell. I said, do not tell him. That's something I want to do. And she planned it, and we pulled it through. My only request was to meet her at the airport and leave with her at the same time.
Well, that request came through. Carmen, what did you think about this surprise visit?
I'm a creature of, I don't really care for surprises at all in any of my life. I like to know what's to come, but Mom wanted to do it. So I had to honor her request. And I just said, okay, let's see if we can pull it off. I don't like to tell people stories. So it kind of felt uncomfortable for me. I didn't like holding it in. It was only maybe a week span that we had to keep the secret, but we pulled it off. And then, the airport was kind of a little comedy of errors. Mom shows up. We're meeting her, at the Chick-fil-A restaurant, and Uncle Tommy and all of us. And they were all walking down together. We see the car pull up. People are honking. It's just like, oh my gosh, just let us pull off this surprise real quick. But it worked out. It was a lot of fun. I was like, Charlie, come over here. I got something for you to pick up. I'm like, literally, there's no luggage for you to grab, but Mom is hiding behind the wall there, and you're getting honked at. And so we're just trying to hurry out of the airport.
Yeah, the guy behind me was not happy. So I thought I was in a lane that was a loading lane, and I'm getting honked at, and Uncle Tommy's getting in the car, and I'm looking at you standing back. I'm like, what are you doing? Let's go get it in. My blood
Hurry.
pressure is rising.
Yep.
My blood pressure is rising because this guy's honking at me. And so anyways, and then Mom was hiding behind there. So that was a great surprise. Who else knew? Who did you coordinate this with?
Let's see. All the siblings knew except for you. Nobody in your immediate family knew. Your wife and kids did not know.
Who knew from like Broad River Retail? Who did you keep? Who
Yeah.
did you coordinate
Broad
with?
River, on your end of things, I had coordinated with Lynn and Caitlin, and they started to send me my QR code for the event. And I said, well, hold on, just go ahead and plan another one of those. And Caitlin was ecstatic and Lynn was ecstatic. They're like, this is going to be the best surprise ever. I think somebody got the secret out to Manny. But I wasn't responsible for that. I was not on those communications, but yeah, you had a few people behind the scenes on your team that knew. But I just said, if you don't mind, keep it a secret. It's not going to be on me. It'll be on you guys if you tell.
Yeah.
But they were able to hold it in.
That was a great surprise. So then we work our way up to High Point. We stop at our Salisbury store. And so, I don't know how it's probably been many, many years since either one of you have had a chance to visit one of our Ashley stores. And so what did you think of our brand new Ashley store and outlet in Salisbury, North Carolina, which is about midway between Charlotte and High Point?
I just loved it, and I took a picture of the front parking lot. It was so neat. My first thought was what a beautiful store, how clean the grounds were, and I love that retaining wall on the side of the store. I love that with the stones, so pretty, and everybody was so welcoming. The people are so kind in the store, walking in, and they didn't know who we were. You were behind us, or you had gone to talk to somebody else, and all the managers, all the employees, they couldn't have been any nicer, asking if we like some water, we like some coffee, very accommodating. And of course, the first thing we saw is a beautiful velour sofa or something fuzzy that Uncle Tommy and I both wanted. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful sectional sofa. We were in love with it. Yeah, and I loved everybody there.
It's a great seller. Carmen, what do you think of the store?
Okay, well, I love the store. I thought all of the new touches on the, furniture, like the fashion industry. So as you can see in my room, I've got all Ashley products. Behind me is that big, what do you call those things? Big buffet. And then I've got the orange chairs and then my wooden table to the side. All of that comes from Ashley. So I think it's time for an upgrade. I thought the store looked good. I liked meeting all your friends in there and learning a little bit about their families and their home life. And they were all great people. The store looked great. It's sectioned off, so you kind of know what you're getting into. You've got your clearance section, which would be something I'd be interested in because I always love a good sale. You've got your modern and your traditional, and I like how it's set up. I like the ribbed sofas with the textures. Everything had texture to it. You had some neutrals. All of the colors looked really good to me. I like a pop of color here and there, but I did like seeing a lot of neutrals because I'm like, oh, is this the trend? Maybe I should hop on this trend and upgrade some of my features at my house.
We're going to get you two.
But anyway, it looked great.
We're going to get you both in sales. All right. So then we went from the Salisbury store, and after having some lunch, we went to High Point Market. And so I don't think either one of you had ever been to High Point Market. So that was an adventure. You got to meet Ron and Todd Wanick. And Mom, what was the High Point Market experience like for you?
Let me say, I have been always, I've seen pictures and videos of Todd. I was in awe meeting him, his father, and his son. So there were 3 generations meeting there. And the first thing I said to him, which I've told you that before, you are the best dressed man I know. And I come from fashion world in Lebanon and Europe, so I know fashion, and he is just about the best dressed man with his colors, the orange scarves he wears or something. I thought that was the high point of me meeting Todd and the family, and his father is just an angel. the furniture itself, the showroom is absolutely beautiful. I've never been to anything like this in my life. Uncle Tommy and I sat after a while to watch. We watched everybody walk by, and people were in awe of all the salesmen, all the people shopping.
It's quite an experience.
It's quite an experience. The kindness of people, the warmth of people. I didn't see anybody with a mean face, with a mean look. Everybody was accommodating. Everybody was happy to be there. And I loved that. We sat in front of the blankets or the quilts or the whatever you call them, and everybody was playing with them, touching them. And I told Uncle Tommy, I want to go back and fold them all and put them back on the shelf. I loved all the quilts or whatever you call them,
Rugs,
blankets. Yeah. They were warm. And then there was, everybody asked if we liked something, if we needed something, plus all the goodies that were in the coffee bar and all that. Shout out to Lynn for setting up all what she did to surprise you that day. And my favorite email was, oh, Charlie is going to be so happy. All I hear from him every day, I can't believe my mom is not coming. I can't believe my mom is coming. And her email just moved me to pieces. And I'm glad I decided to come. Thank you, Lynn, and thank you, Caitlin. My heart. And Lynn fixed me coffee and brought me dessert to the table. I thought that was an amazing thought and jest of her. She's an awesome lady.
Yeah, she's an amazing person, and I was like, yeah, I invited my mom. I don't know, she hasn't given me a good reason why she's not coming, but anyway, they kept the secret. Carmen, what was your experience, meeting the Wanick family and visiting Ashley's showroom and just High Point Market? I think you were on the lookout for a plush animal of some sort, maybe for your son.
So I always think of my life in terms of like a sitcom. So from getting there and, Uncle Tommy's holding mom. She's trying to walk and we're trying to sprint to get to the building. And he's trying to help her. She's like, I don't need any help. And then we get into the building and you don't know which direction to go. And they start out giving you like these free tote bags. So of course we're taking pictures and taking the free tote bags and grabbing some waters. We don't know what we're going to need when we get up there. And then you just go up and up and up and you don't know where you're going to land. And we land maybe on the 8th or 9th floor is where that showroom was. We take a big picture. It's a big, grandiose sign. It's a impressive Ashley sign. I was like, this whole floor is for Ashley. This is cool. So you walk in and you just see people and everybody's kind of walking up to Charlie and he's, he's the one that's making decisions and Manny's there. And you get an experience of what it's like to go through the buying process. So I had never seen the back end of things, of actual work being done. So he's working and he's showing us around. We're like, no, you go do your work. We'll be okay, entertained over here. So we're kind of seeing how the buying process goes. Like this would look good in here. And here's a reason why this won't look good, or we don't like this that much. And this will go good if it's a combination with this set, So that was kind of a neat take on how they select furniture for their showrooms, which I didn't understand how that process worked. And so we went through that. Mom and Uncle Tommy were sitting in the front with all the blankets. And then we go to the cafe and Lynn is being super hospitable. All the marketing specialists that we met were being super hospitable, introducing us and telling us how this works. So we go and take a little break in the cafe. Lynn's providing treats and desserts and coffees for everybody. And then we meet the Wanick family and they're just warm and endearing. You know, by what you've seen in past videos and photos that they're just going to be warm and smiley. You see how they're strong though, because I think I remember Todd saying, I need to meet with you too, in a little bit. So you see that there's a very business side to him, but there's also a very warm side to him and his family. I believe we met his son and his dad also. Very, very nice people. But yeah, you see like there's this quick disconnect between the family, the friendly side and then the very business side. It's like they can detach from that and go right into the business mode. That was neat to see that on the back end. And then the funny story was, I like freebies and I keep seeing these people walk around with these stuffed walruses. And I say, I've got to get one of these walruses for my son. I know we're kind of here, we're doing important business, but I got to get one of those walruses. So the walruses are located up on the same level that we're on, but you have to go downstairs or upstairs. I can't remember what we did. You have to go down or up to get to this, this, showroom where they have these. And then nobody knew who I was. And then one of the people at the front desk said, "Can I help you? Who's your rep?" And I said, "I don't have a rep. I'm just here by myself with my mom. We're just browsing." I said, "Well, my brother's upstairs. He's doing the Ashley home store." "Well, who's your brother?" "Well, I don't know if I should tell you my brother's name. I don't want to get him in trouble. Is this going to get him in trouble?" So I said, "Well, his name is Charlie Malouf." "Oh, your brother's Charlie? Hold on a second." So there's like 10 people scrambling to find Charlie. I mean, not to find Charlie, to find our rep. And so they go and grab our rep, and he's like, "You want a walrus? I'll get you a walrus." And he goes out of his way to go grab a walrus for us. And we were just cracking up. We had no idea how to get back to where we needed to go. There are turns and doorways and elevators. To me, I just think of an old Seinfeld episode. It's like, how do we get on this floor when we were coming from upstairs and we went downstairs and we kind of got lost, but it was fine. We just kept asking people how do we get back to Ashley?
It's a big maze.
And, that was fun. And then we had some relatives, some other Maloufs that were, situated at one of the showrooms, but I had no idea how to find them. You have these numbers and letters that go with the suite that they're in. I'm like, "I don't know how to find you." I said, "I'm sorry, we're on 1 hour's time and we got to get out of here and hurry up to the event." So it was really, really snappy, really fast, a lot of fun. We were laughing a lot. We were walking a lot, and it was a great experience.
To Carmen's point, when we were standing at the desk trying to get those stuffed animals for Matthew, and we wanted to get one for Uncle Tommy's grandchild, this man was standing right there, and he said, "Who you with?" I said, "I'm Charlie Malouf's mom." And he said, "Oh, you're Charlie's mom?" And I don't remember his name right now, Carmen.
Will.
Does. Okay. He said, "I used to work for Charlie. Let me just tell you, I think he spent 20 minutes. I wish I could remember everything he said about you, Charlie, about who you are, about how helpful you are to people, how kind you are to the people that work with you, for you." 30 minutes, he went on. I don't know if Carmen can remember anything he said, but it was nothing but compliments. And all I can say, I'm tearing up, I'm crying, and this gentleman, and I said to him, "And why aren't you working with my son now?" "With my son," I said. I didn't say for. And he said, "But I am. I'm his furniture rep."
Yeah, I think he's a very kind guy. I think you're talking about Will Wittenberg, and I know his dad. He's got a great family, and his dad was head of Klausner for many years, including when I was on the board there. And Will's he's an awesome person and an awesome rep. He's worked with us and helped us out a lot for a long time. Okay, guys, let's move along to the next part of the event. But you're right, Carmen. I mean, in terms of Todd going from endearing to business. I mean, this is a work week for them. I mean, this is like one of the most important weeks of the year if you're in furniture manufacturing. So you've got to be kind of on point, and your whole day is scheduled like 18 hours probably from the time you wake up to the time you're like done with dinner, and that goes several days in a row. And then it's interesting. It is like a maze. I mean, you guys did High Point Market in an hour, maybe 2 hours, while we were there, and most people do it in a week. So, because I mean, it's not just one building. You were in the International Home Furnishings, the IHFC building, but I mean, there's hundreds of buildings throughout High Point spread out in that area. Yeah. So I know Uncle Tommy probably wanted to go from the airport and go rest at the hotel. I told him, well, you're not going to be able to check in that early, so we just kind of kept it busy. There was no rest. It was going to be an action-packed 24 hours. So after High Point Market, we then go to the arena in the convention center, maybe about an hour before the cocktail hour was to start, and we needed to change. And so there was like a a green room that we could go in. And so, Mom, what was the experience like in the green room as we're kind of like, there's one restroom that one person could go at a time and change and get ready. And they let us have this access to this room where we could kind of decompress a little bit.
That was so much fun. I never heard of a green room before. And then everybody's talking about the green room. Now on TV, when I watch the housewives of this and that, Beverly Hills in California, everybody's talking about the green room before they come in, before they have their meetings. So now I know what the green room is. So first of all, you come into this beautiful room with the most beautiful book about the High Point University right at the table. They had the most fabulous beverages like soft drinks and energy drinks and water and plenty of candy and 2, 3, 4 jars full of candy for whoever wanted. And then my favorite was a fig Newton. I love a fig Newton, separate little bitty ones. And then I loved seeing the people walking in with their bags, clothing bag. Everybody was very organized. I think Manny was the first one to change, then Uncle Tommy, then Carmen, and you, me, maybe first, and then you. It was very organized. It was beautiful. There were several beautiful people in that room, and they all opened up the room for us and said, do whatever you need. We're dressed. We leave you alone. They left. I wish I remembered their name. One of them was a red-headed lady that's like a movie star. And one lady lent me her hair dryer if I need to use it. They were very accommodating. It was a beautiful room and just beautiful. And I took the most beautiful pictures in that room. One of them was your uncle, who's probably equivalent to a godfather in our family, the most generous man I've ever met in my life. And he was fixing Carmen's hair, putting little glitter or something in Carmen's hair. And I love to see that. Very humbling, very loving experience. Plus you and Uncle Tommy, I took pictures of y'all and Manny. And it was a beautiful experience. I didn't need to get dressed. I didn't need to put anything on. I was just so honored to be there. I was so happy.
We need to get some of those pictures. We'll show them on the screen. And actually, I think Manny went last on changing, if I recall correctly. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Carmen, just real quickly, what was your experience from the green room experience?
Yeah, the green room was fun. I kind of sneaked off to the women's bathroom. I was like, I need a little more privacy than I'm getting. You know, you got a bunch of people in there. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. We met everybody. We met some of the award recipients and some of the IHFRA staff and director group, and that was nice to meet all of them. So we got a sneak peek to the behind the scenes. It was neat. Being in a green room, it reminded me of my days in the theater. There's always a green room, the get ready place or the holding room before you go on stage or something. So you had a sense of importance, but I was like, I just need to get dressed. So let me sneak off over there and do my thing and then come back to the room. So it was a lot of fun. It was a comedy. I saw it as a comedy.
I'm getting that sitcom comedic vibe from you. So then we had the cocktail hour. And so, Mom, what do you remember about the cocktail experience?
I don't know where all these people came in. I mean, there was like 1,500, 2,000 people, 3,000 people, and I walked out, and you're standing right there by the escalator, and you're surrounded by a lot of love, a lot of people that love you, that know you, and you were so proud. You wanted to introduce us to them. And I see Carmen walking in with a small plate of food for she and I from the appetizer table. And she said, Carmen, what are you doing? She said, that's for Mom and me. We were hungry. We're ready to eat something. And you were so happy and proud to introduce us to everybody. So we put our plate on the side and waited with you to be introduced to everybody, and listening to all the people that you have moved, you have touched, you have done a good deed with them, for them. I was in a different planet, Charlie. This is the part of the work that I don't know what you do. I hear about it, but somebody telling me what my son does every day, how you move people, how you help people. And I didn't want to cry standing right there meeting everybody, but I didn't care. I never had any makeup on, so it didn't matter. And then there walks Kelly and the boys, and the most handsome boys I have ever seen. They were so proud of you. Drew and Luke walked in. Luke had a suit on, like one of the announcer or the winner at the program. He had a plaid suit, and all I can remember, he looked like that gentleman on the screen that we were watching that night. That was just amazing to me.
Yeah. Thanks, Mom. Carmen, the cocktail experience. What was your memories from it?
Yeah, that was a lot of introductions. We met a lot of great people, some who I had the honor to speak with for a couple of minutes and get stories. And they kind of wanted stories about you, about Charlie. And I just said, okay, well, let me just tell you, this is the path to success for Charlie. You know, Charlie would stay up late nights and he'd win the pigskin picks and do all of these Egg Bowl predictions, or to win tickets to the Egg Bowl. So they thought that was funny. So I met a few of the people that you work indirectly with or directly with, met some of the families. That was a lot of fun. Of course, the food was delicious, and we're just sampling a little platter of everything. And you have time to eat one bite, and then you're going to meet somebody and you're shaking hands. So it's quick, and then they're starting to corral us into the room. So that goes kind of fast. The whole day just went really fast. We met a lot of great people, very positive, they're very happy in their roles and in their jobs, which is really cool to see. I work in a nonprofit world for a university, so I don't see gatherings like this for employees and for people that get awarded for or honored for the hard work that they do. So I don't see that on a regular basis. So to have a way to something to achieve in your work life, that's a really cool thing to do. It's a huge accomplishment. And for them to celebrate everybody, I think that's very important. A lot of those award recipients, you saw their great bios, and you guys, Retailer of the Year. So that was really important to me to see how that ties together and what you've been working for like 20 years. It's cool to piece it all together and meet the players behind the scenes.
Yeah, there's a lot of really fast conversations, and it goes by very quickly. And there's a story about Drew. Drew also had a suit on, but he's grown so much that, Kelly said when she was getting him dressed, because he had a sweater on, nothing fit. And so and his shoes didn't fit. So he's sprouted too long and big. And so so he was a little bit self-conscious about not having a suit on.
Well, he looked beautiful.
They both looked sharp, and you all looked amazing. Kelly looked amazing. So it was a really special night. Okay, so we go into the event itself after quick conversations, munching on a few snacks here and there. And so, have you ever? I'm sure you've attended a gala, or I don't know if you say gala or gala. I'm sure you've attended a gala like this before. Mom, what was your experience of just sitting up front in one of the round tables with members of our executive team, and then Kelly, me and the boys, and Uncle Tommy, Carmen, and you? What was your thought? What was your experience? How did it feel to you? How did it compare to other events you've attended maybe like that?
Many, many, many years ago, I used to go to conventions with your father when he was in the insurance business. And they will have 3-4 days of luncheons, dinners, meetings. It was a lot smaller scale. This was absolutely the most ultimate class I've ever attended. It was very, very well organized. The people, the speakers, it was like Carmen said, there was a happy vibe. Everybody looked happy. Everybody looked content. Everybody looked warm. Everybody looked religious. A lot of people talked about God. And I was in awe to see all that. Plus my 2 precious grandchildren sitting next to me for 3.5 hours. They never moved. They never complained once. I've never seen two younger boys like that sitting down, not fidgety, not doing, I don't want this. They never moved. They sat there quiet, listening, smiling. I have a couple of pictures of them looking straight at you when you were speaking. It just warmed my heart. I was a very happy mom. I was all the speakers, all the people that did so much for the industry. How one lady, I think ever since she was 22 years old, she moved up to be the top sales or opening 50 stores or more than that. I know her name. I'm looking at it in a minute.
Caroline Hipple.
That's right, Caroline. And I was moved by all their stories, Charlie, all of them. And by the time it was your turn to speak, I couldn't even look. I couldn't hold my camera to film it, which I did film the whole thing, but I was in awe of your demeanor, your class, your love, and I know you teared up a couple of times. And there are no words to explain more than happiness and joy, and I was overwhelmed with the kindness of the people and how everybody came to say, oh, you're Charlie's mom. Let me tell you about Charlie. And I swear to you, I don't remember anything they said to me except how much they loved you. I couldn't hear them. I knew all that.
Yeah,
I knew all that about you, but I couldn't hear them telling me how proud they are of you.
Yeah, well, I'm glad the event had such a big, magnanimous impact on you. Carmen, what was same question for you, your experience for the event, that evening?
Yeah, so we knew which table we were sitting at. We were trying to figure out the name cards and things like that. And then I kept wondering, what about Lynn? What about Lynn? She is not going to be she needs to be at our table. She's not at our table. She has vacated the table because of the surprise and mom coming to town. We were 13 people at the table and there's only supposed to be 12. So I was a little upset that she didn't get to sit with us. I don't think she was bothered by it. She was very gracious about it, but you know that she needed to be with us. And who are we going to kick off our table, But anyway, so we sat up front. I was missing Lynn. I need to give a shout out to her because she's very special to the team and to your group. So I wish she could have sat up there. Other than that, we had great company at our table. It was fun to watch. I mean, you have this massive screen I've never seen. It was huge, big, massive screen. Everybody with the award recipients that had a chance to go up on stage, they show this big 5 to 7 minute long video of their story. And that was a cool production quality. I appreciated that. Sometimes you want to see it more than just hear the story repeated. You like to see things and inserting some pictures and visuals to go along with what they've done and their accomplishments. So that was a big deal. The food was delicious. I think I ate my entire plate because I don't eat like that every day. So I'm gonna eat when I go to a gala. You asked if we had gone to galas before. Now I go to the St. Jude Gala every year down here in Tampa, but that's not an award banquet. That's honoring a cancer patient, a young cancer patient, childhood cancer. And then when we go to these types of events, these are awards. So people are getting awarded for their dedication and hard work. So that's a contrast to what I've done before, to see people getting awards that, this is a massive event. And, so they pulled it off. The food was great. The event was great, sitting with all these, important people, these business people that have, been in this fashion industry for many years. It was really cool. Great to see people honored and recognized for their deserving time and awards. What they've done. I thought that was impressive. So I had my book with all the people in it, and I gave it to Uncle Tommy because he forgot to bring his. So he asked me for a copy because he's like, I need to just sit there and read the whole thing.
Well, we've got a few extra copies. Well, first of all, we had Wes Dudley and Bill Woodman and Stacy McCormick at the table with us, and Lynn was with other friends and partners of ours, so she was well looked after, well taken care of. I would take it that if you could have dinner with anyone who attended the event, it would be Lynn. So I've got that, and that's the name placard right there, Mom. I see that. That's awesome. I'm glad you took that. So, Mom, what do you think as you think about kind of legacy and moving on from kind of one generation to the next? What values do you think the boys, Drew and Luke, kind of take on? By attending, by them seeing you at the event and then seeing their dad there, what do you think kind of runs through their head? What do you think about, for what does it mean for our family and just going from legacy and one generation to the next, attending an event like this?
It was very moving to see the boys. I can see so much love. The love is going to endure forever. I can see it. They're proud of you. They're proud of the legacy that you are providing for them and for a lot of people around you. You are so loved. You are so kind. And when Carmen was saying something about the production and all these people, they're all happy people. There was a joy. There was a joy around. The boys, Drew and Luke, looked so happy. I don't know if they can understand everything about the furniture business and the work that goes into all that. But they sure are blessed boys, and they're blessed to have you as a dad and Kelly as a mom to care for them, to love them, to guide them through this world. And I think you should spoil them more.
Well, as we know, a mom's love goes a long way. So I was blessed with a very loving mother, and the boys are blessed as well with a very loving mother. And then you got to meet Manny's family and his parents and his sisters, his wife and his boys were there as well, Graylin and James and John Wells. And he had actually cousins and friends and other and in-laws. So did you have some time to spend with Manny's family?
I enjoyed meeting them. I loved meeting his mom. She's so warm and beautiful, and I spoke French with her. I met everybody. It's a beautiful family. His sisters are awesome, and amazing that they all came and to support him and his wife, the boys. I'm watching them watching their father at the same way I was watching Drew and Luke looking at you. There's so much love and fun and kindness. Plus, he has the most beautiful belt I have ever seen, and he said his boys made him that belt. And that's the belt I want for Matthew always, because we collect beautiful belts here. And he said that's what they made for him. They kind of designed it. They're good family, very wholesome, and they think the world of you. I mean, his mother looked at you and she said, "Oh, there is Charlie. I love him." And you could feel the love in that family.
Well, his sisters, along with you, I think might be our biggest podcast fan. Pia Dodd and Rosa, it was great to meet them as well. Carmen, as you think about just our family and just the impact of this event and the rest of your experiences, any other standout memories for you from the event?
Yeah, it goes by so fast, but you think of every little section that you experienced. So from start to finish, we're hopping off a plane, we're driving quickly to get to where we need to go, we're visiting a store. So we're seeing your legacy as we're traveling this road from Charlotte all the way up to High Point and then back in the middle of the night. And you're just like, well, that was it. That was 20 years and that's a wrap. And you're just kind of like, we saw the fast forward version of what you do. And so, if that's the way you're going to explain what you do, you pieced it together for us, just right. So we saw, how your days are. And, I think if you're passing something down to your kids, it's the value of hard work, but also, how you're treating other people. So my memory of the people would be, you're treating everybody is very sweet and kind and joyful, as Mom said. They're happy to be there. There's some kind of something internal in all of them, not just like you didn't see one sour face, but something, and they're not faking it. They're all just there because they love it. They love what they do. This is a cool industry to be a part of. So if your boys are looking to get into something, they see the value of hard work, but they also see, you're working for it, but you're also meeting these individuals along the way. You're showing them what you can do. You're doing charity. You're doing philanthropy. Behind the scenes, there's a lot of philanthropy going on. You guys are very giving. Your message is more about giving to people. You're not greedy. There's not this sense of greed and what we're going to take. It's more about what we can do to make memories and make people feel better in their lives. So you're providing these memories. So for us, the three of us, Mom, Uncle Tommy, and us, we got this experience of a big memory behind the scenes. We're supporters of your industry, but we have the furniture and, but to have this memory that we get to take home, it's kind of a cool behind the scenes. And then we can appreciate more what you do and then see that as it carries on, your legacy through your sons. And if that's the path that they're going to take, or at least they know the value of hard work and being a business owner, investor, franchisee, licensee, all that good stuff. So very good qualities to pass down. I saw that in a lot of people, and it's contagious.
Yeah, well said, Carmen. It's like I said that evening, I didn't choose the furniture industry. The furniture industry chose me, and I'm so glad that it did. It's a wonderful industry, many amazing people, really good, well-to-do people, and it's a fun industry to be in. And there's not a lot of like bitterness or infighting. There's a lot of cooperation and cooperative competition. So, anyways, Mom and Carmen, thanks. And then the next morning before shuttling you off to the airport, we got to see a 5K race with me and the boys, where I got first in my age group, which was amazing. First time I've ever done that, and third in my household. So I finished behind Drew and Luke. So it goes, I guess. On to the next. So Mom and Carmen, thanks so much for being with us. Any final words, Mom, before we let you sign off?
God bless you. God keep you healthy this Thanksgiving day tomorrow. I'm in awe of you, what you do for your family, for your people that work with you, for you. Shout out to Jonathan Ishii. Turn the key, as his grandfather told him. Turn the key. I love that. I wanted to thank Caitlin, Marina, and Lynn. What a fun people to work with, for how they treat you, how they respect you, how they love you. I wish I was closer to see more of that every day, but I'm not. I'm very proud of you. I pray for you and your family, all of us, all your siblings, your sister, your kids. God bless me with having some siblings like you all. And you're number one. You'll always be number one, Charlie.
All right.
I love you.
Well said, Mom. Thanks so much. Carmen, thank you for being with us. I don't know if you have any final words, but
just hello to all the Broad River Retail group. You guys are doing great. Your fearless leader over here, he's doing a great job. So it looks like you all are happy, and thanks for letting us be a part of your world and for all the shout outs.
I wanted to say something.
Go ahead,
I
Mom.
wanted to say something else, if I may. We were sitting going back to the little cafe, a coffee bar at North Point at the university at the market. We were sitting in the room, and there walks this gentleman, and Stacy turns around to Uncle Tommy, and he says, "That's Mr. Warnock, Sr." And he went past us. And he came back, and Uncle Tommy said, "I'd like to meet him." And of course, Stacy stopped him, and he said, "This is Charlie Malouf's uncle, Tommy Malouf. He's heard so much about Uncle Tommy. I don't know how, where, from what. Maybe his other legacy in Tampa and Miami, what he does with St. Jude and all." And he said, "Let me tell you about your nephew, Charlie." And he stood there and spoke about you. And I don't know what he said, but it was all beautiful stuff. Then this gentleman, I got up, I hugged him, and I said, "I'm Charlie's mom." And he started telling me stuff about you. Shout out to him, that gentle, giant, older man. And then he reached over to his pocket, and he pulls up a silver dollar, and he gives it to Uncle Tommy. And nobody has ever given Uncle Tommy anything in his life, and he didn't want to take it. He kept saying, I don't want it. Give it. And to hear Carmen saying, oh, I'll take it to Matthew. But Stacy explained to Uncle Tommy what that means. That means that's for friendship forever. That's how he passes out silver dollars. And what a beautiful thing. And I had to say to Uncle Tommy, no, you keep it. All your life you've been giving people. Nobody's ever given you anything. You need to take this and keep it. And I will end up with that. That made me very proud to be part of your family, of the name Malouf, which is something honorable. I rejoice today that I have you in my life.
Well, yeah, that's a great story about Ron Wanick, the chairman and founder of Ashley Furniture Industries, and he's a great man, and he's in his 80s and he's still around the showroom, around the market, and meeting people. And he came up to me after the event. It was just so gracious and kind. And so once again, we made it a family affair today here on Stories from the River on our Furniture Industry Awards Gala Retailer of the Year Look Back series. So thanks for joining us. Check out more episodes in this series as we interview some of our people who attended the event, and Manny gets to speak with his family. Thanks so much for joining us with my mom, Salwa Malouf, and my sister, Carmen Malouf here on this episode of Stories from the River. Thanks so much.
Thanks for listening to Stories from the River. To check out more episodes, visit storiesfromtheriver.com. Join us again next week, and remember to like, rate, and subscribe to the podcast.